Jungle has been a 56-second stage for at least 13 years. The onlyest run I could find that I could frame count was Frezzy Man's 2008 world record of 10 minutes and 17 seconds. He finished Jungle in 56.4 seconds. In 2014, the Mexican runner got 56.04. A year later, DK28 got 56.5, although that's most likely not his best run. And Angry Lanks has a 56.03 in his world record run. The fastest anyone has ever finished Jungle in a world record run was Hard Rage back in 2012, and he got a 56.02. The point is, everyone who runs this game knows that a 55-second Jungle is impossible. Or is it?
Challenge accepted.
In Contra, there are three things that can slow you down. The first is lag caused by too many trolls on the screen. Now this won't be a problem because the game never really spawns enough trolls in the first stage to cause lag. The second is barriers or enemies with lots of HP. In this particular stage, there's literally nothing you can't kill without having to slow down, except the boss at the end, but we'll get to that later. And the third is jumping. Believe it or not, every jump actually costs a frame. So we need to complete this stage with no lag, as little slowdown as possible, and as few jumps as possible. Let's run through the stage and see how this plays out. Just a couple things to note before we begin. Notice the timer in the bottom left. This will help us keep track of our progress. Take note of the lives in the top left. Timing begins on the first frame that lives appear. This is also the same frame our clips begin on. Now the timer ends as soon as the player loses control of Bill. This is why players will either duck or look up so they know when to split. Now remember, we are not going to stop running until we lose control at the end. And we're off. Now our first point of interest is the two bridges that we're going to have to jump over. It may be 2 jumps per bridge, which equals to 4 jumps, but if we land in the water it's going to cost us way more than that to get back on track. Now the next point of interest is where we pick up the spread fire. This is, by the way, the 5th jump that we have to make. A lot of people will jump and shoot down to destroy that carrier, but you can just run through. Drop down here, jump up the 6th jump, and the next point of interest is that turret we just killed. A lot of people will jump and shoot down again to avoid getting shot, but you can actually do it without dying. Now this next turret, if you buffer 2 shots before you fall off that edge, and if your button mashing is good enough, you can destroy that turret before he gets a shot off. Now all that's left is to clear the last 2 turrets, and then break our fingers button mashing this door to death. Exactly 7 frames after the final boss dies, we lose control of Bill with a final time of 56.01 seconds. Now let's talk about this boss. He has 32 hit points, and every shot I make contains 5 bullets. Which means if you do the maths, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots is all that's needed to take him out. We can bring that down a little bit though. Now you'll notice in the video I don't just run through and destroy the door, I clear the turret and then I buffer 2 shots on the way down like so. So that now it'll only take me 6 shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to destroy the door. Why does it do this? Well again, it's 32 hit points. If you do the maths, 5 bullets times by 6 shots equals to 30. So when we jump down and we do our 2 buffer shots, notice how 2 bullets hit the door. Therefore, 32 bullets left, 30 divided by 5 giving us 6 shots. What if I were to tell you that there was a way to subtract yet another shot? If on the way down, as soon as we've buffered our 2 shots, we fire 1 more shot directly forwards, well, this happens. We just destroyed that door in 5 shots. Go ahead, watch it again. And that, I believe, is the fastest way to kill this boss. 56.01 seconds is laughably close to 55 seconds. So close that we have to ask the question, is it possible? Is 55 seconds actually possible? Well, I have a confession to make. It was actually me that you just saw completing the perfect jungle run. Well, almost. The truth is I used turbo for the final boss. You see, a perfect jungle run is not nearly as easy as it looks in this video. I had a lot of failed runs. Of the runs I did complete, I could not get below 56.20 seconds because of my button mashing speed, or lack thereof. The question is, how fast would we need to button mash to get the 56.01 shown in the video? Well, for comparison's sake, my button mashing speed is a little under 10 presses per second. Keep that in mind. Now, assuming that we make our 2 buffered shots and our 3rd shot on the way down, the timestamp when we hit the ground and begin shooting up towards the door is exactly 53.04. The first frame that the boss dies is 53.08. That means we made 5 shots in 4 frames. Or to put it another way, that's 5 shots in 1/16th of a second. 5 shots in 0.16 seconds. To put it in a way that speedrunners would understand, that is a button mashing speed of 32 button presses per second. It's actually 31.25, but a quarter button press doesn't make any sense. This, I'm afraid to say, is impossible. Even the fastest button mashers haven't broken 20 presses per second, at least not in Contra. So unless somebody finds some kind of glitch that saves us time, I don't believe we will ever sub 56 seconds in jungle. As of the making of this video, that is my conclusion. Case closed. Now, if you think I've got anything wrong or you'd like to discuss this topic further, please feel free to do so in the comments. I'm happy to take suggestions. This is the first in a series. I'd like to do videos for every stage, although I realize it's going to be a lot more complicated as we go on. That being said, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.